Okay, I'm with Scott Gerber to interview his time at West Suffolk College and Green Duck. Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Uh, Start off, I would like to know what your role is at West Suffolk College and your team role.
My role at West Suffolk College is the technical support manager. In the past 8 months, we've just combined 2 departments into one. So we brought software support together with hardware support to bring together a cohesive team of about 8 individuals to support all technical support issues in the college. That's IT, servers, through to laptops, through to tablets, the Wi-Fi, the networking, and anything else they think they can put in there that might challenge us.
Okay, so how is your team? Like, are they good teamwork and?
Oh, they're a brilliant team. We've just come through our self-assessment review with the college and have scored the highest possible score of outstanding, grade 1.
Oh, really?
So we're a grade 1 department. We were the first one this year in the college to make that grade. And yeah, we're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant team.
Excellent. Is there anything you think that sets the college apart from similar institutions such as schools and universities?
Well, the fact that we're an FE college obviously does set us apart, but what sets us apart, I'm not quite sure if that's we're a rural college supporting the needs of all the local schools, and that ranges from the students from 14 to 16 all the way up to the 19 to 21 agenda, 26 agenda, and then adults as well. So we are different and we're unique in as much as we're the largest feeder college for the UCS, University Campus Suffolk. We feed more students in there than any of the local colleges. So we have a big agenda to support their technical needs as well. But as a college, I think we're unique. I think we're very special in what we do.
Really
Coming in contact with other institutions and other institutions coming here, they walk away with a feeling of what a great place. And we've just had 2 new senior members join the college, and the comments I've heard is they said they were really impressed with the feeling you get from working here. And it's buildings don't make the organization; it's the people. And in this place, the people are what makes the difference. It's absolutely impressive. They are. In a time of need, they'll all come together and help each other and support each other. And they work together really, really well. And even in just generally, there isn't anybody that doesn't get along with anyone. It's a very, very good place to work.
I know that you're associated with Green Duck.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to tell me how?
Yeah. It's a long story. It's an interesting one. Green Duck is Matthew Green and Graham Duckworth. They formed their company, but Matt Green was a student here.
Yes.
And interestingly enough, his father was the software support manager.
Really?
So and I worked for his father. So I knew Matt when Matt was 15, 16 years old. Matt formed Green Duck IT. It was a natural fit for them to come on board and do some work a long time ago with us as a fledgling company in West Suffolk, in the West Suffolk region. They came and did some work with us, and I can't specify what that work was because at the time I wasn't in the role to interact with them. But I can tell you that in the past 2 years, I've been working closer and closer with Green Duck in my previous role as software support technician and software support manager. We had a need for some software for SharePoint, Exchange Server, and things like that. Green Duck helped with those areas. They helped us to get our first SharePoint up and running 5 years ago. And from that, subsequently, when I took on the role of technical support manager, Green Duck was brought in to become our third line support. The technology moves so quickly that to put people in place to manage infrastructure for servers and networking and all those kind of things, because it rapidly changes, that you would be in a constant cycle of training, then use, and training, then use, and then development. So we chose, like many other institutions, to outsource part of our provision. And in this case, Green Duck was a natural fit. They're down the road. They know all of our systems. We have a brilliant working relationship with them, get on really, really well. 2 of our team moved on to work with Green Duck, so we have great contact with them. And it's just been a perfect relationship. We get on fantastically well as a team, and that's the important word here. It's a partnership with them, and we work really well as a team. They work very, very close with us. But I've known Matt for a very long time, and he isn't Green Duck. He's part of Green Duck. You have to appreciate that. He's a managing partner with them, but managing director with them. But ultimately, his advice and guidance in some areas, his support that he gives us and Green Duck gives us is perfect. It just works well for us.
Yeah. Okay. How did Green Duck engage with the college to identify what needed to be done and where the priorities lay?
Well, Green Duck came in, and when we changed the department back in October, we sat down, and the first thing we did is we looked at 2 different areas. One was the staff within the technical support department. We wanted to look at the team and see how we could start changing how we interacted with the college in terms of technical support, customer service, those areas. And then we also wanted to make sure that we were getting the most we could for staff and students and all of our customers that use the system. So we started dissecting everything that we were having problems with, and not everything was broken or not working, if you will. And we started to build a layered approach to how we were going to fix these issues. And so we've come a long way in 8 months. We're currently undergoing many projects that include a fiber change for the backbone, and we've got a virtualization project that just came to close. We took 51 servers and turned them into 10 servers, physical servers. We've eliminated 3 server cabinets. The savings alone on that should probably be in the thousands, 1,000 at least a month, we think, for electricity and cooling in each server room. We have other projects to improve the college Wi-Fi infrastructure. We took on a project to roll out to the Milburn Center 22 new Wi-Fi boxes to increase their usage. So it's because they know our systems and they're strategically in line with where I want the college to be, and my boss, David Howells, where he and I haven't agreed where we want to be in a few years' time. And this all takes a long time to do. There's cost, man hours. They're on board with us. They're not pushing us to do something we don't want to do, and at the same time they're in line with our strategic vision. So it works really, really well.
Yeah. So from the partnership with Green Duck and the college, the changes, would you say they're like massively improvement and you'll get your target?
Okay. I would say they're phenomenally improved. Again, last year's SAR, self-assessment for the college, every manager has to do one. You self-assess down to your department. We had 2 varying scores there, a 3 and a 2. And from those 3 and a 2, in 8 months, we took it from a 3 and a 2 to a solid 1 across the board. So that means that we're now an outstanding department. So we're on line with that, and we're on line to continue that. In our self-assessment review, we had 106 comments back by staff. Of those 106 comments, 85 of those comments were positive about the customer service. They were positive about the feedback they get from the team. They were positive about their experience when they come in contact with technical support. And they were quite generous with how good they think that we've improved. They mentioned Green Duck as a partnership with us. They do a really good job of highlighting where we've come and where we are now. So I have no qualms about saying that it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Okay. What does the college learn from working with Green Duck?
That's a big one. One of the things that we're going for here is direction and customer service. Okay, you can set yourself long-term goals all day long, but there's this saying that goes with culture eats strategy for breakfast, which means I can lay the best strategy in the world, but culture in the college, we have to get people to accept that there's always changes taking place, and I need to get and when I talk about the staff, I'm talking everybody from the front of the college to the back of the college to all the learning centers to accept that we're trying to improve a service. So if we implement a change, we try to do it in a way that's positive and it makes things better. And working with Green Duck, we because they're a more commercial company than we are, we're learning to interact with our customers and make it a better experience for them, more seamless. And we talk about enablement now. We don't talk about that we can't do that, or maybe why we shouldn't do that, or in the past, we would have found, or we would have discovered reasons to not do something. What we look at now is how we can enable students and how we can enable staff, and anybody who comes to us and says we want support, or how can we do something? New projects, old equipment across. That's a big stretch between those two. Is about enabling people to get on with their jobs.
So no negative sides.
I don't buy into negativity at all. I don't. No. Everything is glass half full. Everything is about how we can achieve it. One of my biggest bugbears is that I don't want to hear the word no in the office. I want to hear that yes, but there might be a reason why it might take longer, or yes, there's a cost involved, or yes, but we have to get some consultation on that. But no isn't something I like to deal with, because I don't believe that works well. You don't want to hear no when you come in. No. Sometimes it has to be no if someone wants to come in and spend £100,000. I'm like, so do I, But ultimately, it's about enablement, okay? And it helps that enablement perspective comes from the top down. So my boss is looking downwards and saying, look, let's get the staff what they need to do their job, and let's get the students what they need so they can get on with and achieve. You're here to achieve something. Yeah. How do we make that happen for you?
Okay. What do you personally think should be next to do at the college?
we've got a
achieved
massive.
so much.
We've got we've achieved so much, but we have so much more to do. We're currently. We've got to finish up the network infrastructure. The biggest thing we have to do is get the network right, because that network computing is no longer a I will do, I won't have it. You know, when I first came to the college, networking was something that was there, but it wasn't the be all and end all. Now it's the core of everything we do. So we must get our network infrastructure correct. And for that's an ongoing project. I would be loath to take anything new on before I get this right. And when I say it's the team that's doing the hard work. I'm just kind of pushing them and pulling them along, you know.
Yeah.
That's our goal right now. Before I wouldn't want to even say anything after that. It's the network.
If you were asked to recommend Green Duck to another organisation, what would you say?
I would say look at their core values.
Yeah.
Before you look at anything else, look at their core values, because they've got very similar to us, which is the everything's possible attitude, and that to me is so uplifting when you're dealing with people that come in with they've had negative experiences before, or they don't know what it means to have someone say, sure, we can do that for you. You know, again, there's always something attached to that. It might just be a simple click of a button, but it might be you've got to spend some money, or we need to come do a survey, and there's a whole plethora of issues in there. But the bottom line is their core values are the same as ours, which is achievement is where we're going. We want to be somewhere, and we've got a strategic goal. You know, operationally, how are we going to get there? How are we going to achieve it? And that's what I like about working with them. They're just down the road, and I can walk down there and sit down and discuss what we want to achieve.
Yeah.
I get honest feedback about why it's a good idea or a bad idea. It's brilliant, because I'm not technically speaking, I have people in my team that are more technically along the road than I am, because I'm more about strategy, resource management, project management. I can work with them and I understand what they're doing, but I let them get on with their job, and I expect them to feed back to me. And that's nice with Green Duck, working with them. I expect them to deliver, and they do.
Yeah.
And their core values are so much in line with it. I keep saying that because it's important to me. I couldn't work with a company that's saying, yeah, we know you want to achieve that, but our agenda is different than yours. Nope, it's totally in line with ours.
Okay. I know that Green Duck now offer a recycling service as part of the end-to-end IT offering. If there was any other service that they could provide, what would it be?
I don't have another service I need from Green Duck right now. It's a pretty deep one. We're currently engaged with them in recycling, which is great. Previously, our recycling involved getting a company, which is kind of disjointed when you think about it. A company would come from further afield, sometimes up north. They drive a lorry all the way down. Thus, you know, if you get into the green agenda, they would, you know, use up all that petrol, add all that the pollution. But now Green Duck just being down the road, they send a van, they collect what we want. They do all the back end work for us. So the recycling agenda is perfect. Our agenda for work here is spot on. I have no other needs right now that I could bring in line with them. But the nice thing about my relationship with them is I can float ideas, and they can come back and say, we can do that. So it's not always about my immediate needs. Sometimes it's about just having a brainstorming session and then realizing that actually those services are available to us. Because IT is, you know, the IT industry is massive. And I have got some goals for long-term aspirations, goals and long-term aspirations. And to achieve those, I will probably need to speak to them in depth about some of the stuff they can deliver.
Just off the bat, with working with Green Duck, would West Suffolk College be able to do what they've done for you on their own, or are you happy that they've collaborated with you guys?
It needs to be a collaboration.
It needs to be a collaboration.
Staff are fickle. Okay, I've come in contact with other organizations like ours that have outsourced everything. They've outsourced the whole lot, which means they are then I don't want to say slave, but they are bound by the contract in literal terms. Whereas by keeping our second line support and our web development and other functions within the team, staff have a consistent experience. They come through, they see the same people. I have individuals that do very specific tasks. They do a very specific role outside of their normal core role within the second line support. And that's important in this organization because staff are like family here. Every year we all get together twice, and they work with the technical support team, and they come in, and some of them see outside of work and they know their lives a little bit. And I don't believe that if we had a pure other solution that wasn't a team here, that we would have gotten anywhere near the progress we've had in the past 8 months.
Okay, just last thing. Give me 3 words that would describe Green Duck.
Driven, I'll give you 4 words: driven,
Forward.
core values. Sorry, because core values,
Yeah,
and partnerships.
Partnership.
They've never once, with my experience with Green Duck, have they come in and said, "You guys are doing this wrong," anything like that. The bottom line is they want to work with us, and that means everything. Without that, there's no relationship.
Okay. Thank you. That was Scott Gerber.
All right. Thank you very much.